afternoon speed gaming, or morning, or evening, or wherever you are. We're back with the Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer Tournament. Round 2, it's going to be a 0-1 match with Grimelios versus FluffyPrower. I'm Poogle, I'm back again, and with me is Shed. How you doing, Shed?
I'm doing pretty well, Poogle. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We just had a really great doubles match, and then we're going to have a really great singles match.
We sure are. As we said, this is Grimelios versus FluffyPrower. Both of them lost in the first round of Swiss, but they are just starting now with the second round, trying to fight their way back up. Real quick reminder, in order to advance to the bracket after the Swiss, you have to have a winning record. So these guys need now to win 3 out of the next 4 rounds in order to make it. So they are going to try and start now.
Now, both of these runners are super experienced with the rando. They just happened to go up against other people in round 1 who were also extremely experienced in the rando.
Oh yeah, Grimelios fell to Terra, and FluffyPrower fell to the mighty Raziel. So definitely nothing against these two for taking the loss. But they are up against each other right now. As we said, they're both skilled. Grimelios is a very, very good Ori runner, been with the game since the early days of Vanilla. FluffyPrower, a little bit newer than that, but still very experienced, especially in Randomizer.
So, I guess you could say instead of Raziel no, Raziel yes?
Sure. But, Poogle, I do have to ask you, who do you think is going to win this match? Is the match going to go the Fluffy way, or do his prospects look a little grim?
With this one, I don't know. I think this is one of the hardest ones, even on the challenge page, that I just sat staring at, that this is going to be a really good match. It's all going to come down to what they find. I know Grim says that he doesn't normally sequence break a lot, and if Fluffy were to find something that's just on an off chance, not even that people might think is a sequence break, but just walking by, getting something that he shouldn't necessarily have first, then that could change the entire flow of the fight.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. As we head over to the race page here, we will get started right quick for you. And they are off.
Alright, first pickup, what's it going to be?
I'm going to say the first pickup's a keystone, but there's only going to be 1 in the first 4 pickups.
Alright, that's an interesting prospect. I'm going to say we're going to get a teleporter in the first 4 as well.
Oof. That could be pretty rough for our runners here. That's quite the long logic paths there if you manage to get a teleporter. Depending on which one it is.
Considering if there's only a single keystone, they either have to have skills to get other places, or a teleporter to take them there.
That was, of course, correct. We have a keystone for our first pickup. They'll be heading to the second one right now. It's another keystone. All right, I was incorrect. They will be heading left into Glades proper. After, of course, they pick up our friend sign.
So with 2 keystones, we're going to have, I guess, your pseudo-standard opening?
Basically, yeah. It's a pretty common opening to have 2 keystones. Head left through the keystone door. It is, of course, possible that we get some sort of wall interaction or something like charge jump, and you have the option of going into Blackroot, especially early, which Fluffy is infamous for doing, but we'll have to see what happens.
Charge jump Blackroot is better than climb Blackroot. At least that's my opinion.
Glide.
Ooh. What do you think we're going to get wind restored for the next couple pickups?
I don't know. Typically, if you see Glide this early, then Wind Restored is not far behind. But, of course, this is the randomizer. Who knows what could happen?
Got an ability cell of the fake flippers.
Like, neither runner opted to keep it. That's not the worst decision. In fact, it's a smart decision, I would say.
So, what do you normally keep versus not keep for fake flippers? What's worth it to you to hang on to?
I'll usually hang on to things like skills, obviously, keys, obviously, not keystones, of course, dungeon keys, like Sunstone or Wire Vein. Maybe not the Gumon seal. But I know there are some runners out there who like to even keep a keystone here and there from that pickup. It's kind of runner's choice.
Map stun right next to the map
Nice.
pedestal, and we get Grenade.
Grenade and Glide don't interact super well. Early Grenade is a little spooky sometimes, though. You could end up with a Bash Grenade seed, which a lot of runners tend to dislike.
Now, Grimelios did say that while he is a controller runner, he actually doesn't mind Bash Grenade seeds. So that's something I have to give him props for, because as a fellow controller player, Bash Grenade is not fun.
I personally love them, but of course I am a non-controller runner. I run on KBM, so I'm a little biased there. But
well, if they get wind restored at some point, I believe you can get from the wind right next to the start to the pickup. I'm not sure if you need wall interaction though.
Don't think you do. So there we go. Wind restored. As we just mentioned, combined with Glide, they will be able to check this pickup to the right of start when they ult-are. I would be shocked if either runner did not immediately do so.
And it's a second energy cell.
Energy cell. This is an interesting start.
Where are runners gonna go? They do have the one pickup behind the blue wall.
I think that has to be it, right? I don't think they can get anything else.
You can do... Oh, no. I was about to say you can do Glide Blacker, but you can't get up the first wall. Teleporter or wall jump, what do you think?
It is wall jump, as you see on the left side. Grim gets to the pickup first, so he'll be able to head up here immediately towards the charge flame tree. Bet you Fluffy is going to do the same, and he is.
I'd be breathing a sigh of relief if I found wall jump here, because that means you have guaranteed wall interaction for the seed, and that's not something to sneeze at.
Yeah, honestly, this is a pretty lovely starting combination of skills here. Wall jump is good. Wall interaction is always basically necessary. Have Glide, which can make some things very easy. Wind restored unlocks a couple pickups in combination with Glide. Grenade lets you break blue walls and plants and such for free, no energy cost on that. It's just, it's very comfortable.
It is. Now, both runners are going to, gonna avoid the pickup above start. Grimelios is gonna go into Blackroot Burrows on your left, while on your right, FluffyPrower is going to head into Spirit Caverns.
We've, it's kind of a meme in the community that the Fluffy way is to head into BRB as soon as possible. We're seeing a break from that right now. Fluffy, of course, not going the Fluffy way, but Grim is.
Maybe Grim might think that he's gonna get a leg up on Fluffy by doing what the Fluffy would do.
What would Fluffy do? Personally, I am a fan of heading to Blackroot pretty early on as well. See if it
There's
pays,
the fourth energy cell.
That's really nice for Fluffy, of course. I would expect Grim to find that eventually, but 4 energy unlocks quite a number of pickups here.
Not only that, but Fluffy, we might even see skip Blackroot for the time being and head into Moon Grotto. So I'm going to go over and pick up the last bit of stuff near Wall Jump Tree, which I do like this. If there's something here that the runners couldn't get the first time because they didn't have wall interaction and they leave, then this is one of the places where you don't normally go back to.
Yeah, it's pretty out of the way, so Fluffy opting to do it while he's still relatively close by.
Let's see if that's going to work out for him. We've got a Keystone. We've got another Keystone. So he could go back up and into a Valley entrance if he wanted.
Could.
Map's done. And it looks like he's even going to go all the way back down to the energy cell next to a Wall Jump Tree.
Meanwhile, on the left side, Grim is just progressing through the main room of Blackroot. It's pretty slow. There's a couple pickups, but he hasn't found anything particularly interesting yet. And he is, of course, doing this to collect the dash tree, which you have to in order to complete the seed eventually, so just getting it out of the way now, even if it is slow.
Fluffy not going to go over to the 4 energy door for Death Gauntlet just yet. Only got 1 health. Technically speaking, he can get over those spikes by using Glide and the winds, but it is a little tight of a thing.
Looks like he's opting to go into BRB right now and get this done before he thinks about anything else.
Grim is going to put the orb into the pedestal. Let's see, is he going to do the darkness skip, or is he going to... He's going to do the darkness cutscene skip and not the cutscene stack.
Not really a major difference there, a couple seconds maybe. We've already gotten our first clue, yeah. We've gotten our first clue. This is the third tree Grim has been to, and it was, of course, the Gumon seal in Misty Woods. Oh joy.
Nice extra double jump pickup. Wonder where double jump's gonna be in this seed. Now, I'm not sure if this is in logic or not. However, is the dash plant within logic with the skills that they have? Can they even get over there? Is my question.
I'm admittedly not sure. It might be. Actually, I don't think it is. I think you need... Okay, we're being told he did already get the dash plant, so yes, it is.
Alright. So we're going to see the Raziel No experience, which a lot of these pickups we have named fondly or not so fondly. In the case of the runners, they're named after certain pickups in the community.
It's a little interesting there. I saw Grim level up an ability to sort of break this boulder and let it pass harmlessly over him here. But he leveled up Quick Flame. That's kind of an interesting strategy. Normally runners tend to rush the blue ability tree, the topmost one, because it has a lot of movement skills later on if you manage to find dash. But he opted to grab Quick Flame. It's a little bit interesting.
I can see that now. Not only is it a really nice ability to have, but on controller it actually does save a decent amount of time.
That is fair. That is fair. Of course, there's also been some recent development in Charge Flame burn strats. It is the third ability in the red attack tree. If you find Charge Flame, there's a couple of pickups that you can check if you have Charge Flame burn that you normally wouldn't be able to. And I know for a fact Grim found at least one of these spots, so maybe he's even going for that. Well, who knows?
Could be a possibility. It's the one in Death Gauntlet, yes?
He found that one, yes. There's a couple more as well that you can check.
So Fluffy is also going to do the Darkness cutscene skip, get these... Well, get the ability cell, choose to not keep it.
We're seeing Grim head down and check these pickups by the wall jump tree that we saw Fluffy check earlier. He's opting to do that before he heads up into Spirit Caverns, which makes me think, personally, that he is then going to progress through Spirit Caverns up to the Grove Teleporter. We'll have to see what he decides. Fluffy is heading up to check the dash plant via the method that we've talked about with wall jump and glide.
Runners are getting a lot of keystones early, which does make me think that, oh, Grim's gonna skip the map stone. He might get it on his way back
He placed
up.
a save. He might come down here and check this cell and then reload the save and check the map stone. That's what I suspect.
I like that plan. And considering it is just a keystone, I'm pretty sure he's gonna do what you said. Trek bringing up an interesting point that Fluffy will be able to put in the second map stone, as he will have it when Grim does not. Grim just picking up that map stone now.
So he will have an early second map stone check. If that is any sort of progression, Fluffy will have a little bit of an advantage here.
However, with Grim going the way that he's going, I could see him going to Valley Entrance, getting those 3 pickups, and going up through the keystone door here to get there. It means he doesn't have to reload and come all the way back. It also wouldn't surprise me if he did not skip the Hollow Grove cutscene so that that teleporter is available for him.
Very true. This is, of course, a long trek now for Fluffy to go the way that we suspect Grim will be going. But with 4 energy, the runners have access directly to the Death Gauntlet from starting area, so I suspect that's the direction Fluffy will go. Looks like Grim's actually going to opt for that as well, opting to altar out of Spirit Caverns and head directly through Death Gauntlet here.
The second mapstone turn-in is an ability cell.
Alright, so not quite in the advantage that I might have predicted, but still good to get those mapstone checks in as early as you can. Of course, the mapstones are progressive. Doesn't matter where you turn them in, it's just the number that you have turned in, and there could be something important on a higher number like mapstone 5.
Hopefully it's not water vein again.
Very true. Alright, here we go. Grim heading into the area we call the Death Gauntlet, and it's called that for a reason as he dies to the Frankie. Definitely not the easiest strats here, but there we go.
Nice jump. Fantastic little jump away from the wall and then back over to lure the Frankie into the water without taking damage. Either from the water or from getting jumped on.
Yes. Saw Fluffy put his energy in the door to open it up and is heading back to this teleporter for a refill, which will allow him to save just before the area, because as we saw, it is definitely not the easiest, but Fluffy now has to copy Grim here, do those fancy strats and avoid getting hurt. Ooh, very nice. Manages to completely dodge the Frankie's sort of aggro range. Okay. That was interesting. We have teleporting frogs, everyone. The Grim has gone all the way down into Grotto here, probably thinking to check this mapstone as soon as he can, get his mapstone 2 in, finds the same ability cell we saw earlier.
Now, I was about to question why he wasn't doing the cutscene skip, but they have wind, they have glide. They can just pop right back up there.
That's true. Just a little bit of a non-standard alternate routing of this area for Grim.
There's the Sunstone.
There's the Sunstone.
That is one less thing our runners are going to have to find, as 14.5 minutes in, we found the Sunstone hanging off a platform.
This is, of course, very nice. Have to search for that later. We still need the water vein, of course. We need to visit all of the skill trees before you are able to complete the game, and there is one in the Ginso tree. Fluffy?
Oh, I know what Fluffy's trying to do. He's trying to hit the lantern and fall into the water at the same time, so that when he's down there, he only needs to spend 3 health to get down to that experience.
I know this is possible, but interesting that he's checking this now. It's definitely not in logic. And it's just a lot of experience. Alright, clean water might be quite a ways off for our runners here.
I can see him wanting to check that, though, because that's one of those pickups you just don't want to go back to.
Fair enough, I suppose. Seeing Grim all the way to the double jump tree now. Getting keystone from it and progressing towards his next clue.
Now, Luffy's going to check the area that we like to call the glide vault, which is this 2 energy door right here, and he's even going to go all the way up this shaft part, which is in logic with just wall jump. It's just a pain.
Yeah, it's both long and difficult, because these slimes are ruthless. But he's doing pretty alright. Glide helping him out here. The walls are a little slippery. He's got to be a bit careful, but should be fine now.
See what it is? It is another ability cell, which this early on is not bad.
It's not the worst, for sure.
Now we're gonna get our first. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We're gonna get our first look at these 2 pickups here, because Truck is informing that Grim just didn't have the ability point to skip the bridge.
Ah, that would do it for sure.
So we're gonna get our look at what this experience orb is.
Real quick check-in with Grim on the left. He is headed back through Spirit Caverns, made the check through Glades. Ooh,
that
my
might come back
goodness
to bite
gracious. Fluffy found Bash in the pickup that Grim unfortunately had to skip. That is very important. Bash is a great movement skill, puzzle solver, and of course combines with Grenade to be a lot of mobility.
However, Grim has just found the water vein in the
my
valley
goodness.
plant. So,
well, there you go.
we are 17 and a half minutes in. We have found Bash Grenade, Wall Interaction, the Water Vein, the Sunstone, and Wind.
And Glide, of course, to help.
What
That's,
is this seed?
Is it possible to beat the game with this set, or do they need to search more?
They don't have any way of breaking floors for Final Escape.
That is true. Alright, so the runners will be looking for Stomp, Climb and Charge Jump, or Charge Flame, or Dash, actually. Basically anything with double jump.
There's Dash.
There's Dash, never mind. Alright,
Grim
oh
was
my
not able to get that pickup because he didn't have Bash at the time. I'm not sure he's gonna come back here.
How? I joked that this might look grim for Fluffy, but it's starting to look a little grim for Grim here, as Fluffy has these very, very good skills very early.
Technically speaking, you can complete the Final Escape with these. Now, you can't without either Clean Water or at least 6 HP, especially if you don't have Stomp.
Of course.
But...
And Fluffy still doesn't have either key, so he's going to be looking around for those.
Right, so we've got Grim with both of the keys, but Fluffy with all of the skills Grim doesn't have. And it doesn't look like Grim's going to be coming back this way anytime soon.
No, this is out of the way and difficult to check for Grim here. I suspect that Grim won't want to come back to this area until he's found some sort of verticality of his own. Where, of course, we now know that the verticality is in this area the whole time, in the form of Vash.
On top of that, he already has the double jump tree as well. If the experience right above the double jump tree is something else, he might be missing a lot more than he thinks.
That is true.
It wouldn't surprise me if he still hasn't found anything and gets double jump or charge jump if he were to come back here for the couple of things that he's missed. But even then, I'm hoping that he does go check that experience next to where the water vein usually is.
Certainly hope so.
Looks like he was going to go try and check that grenade locked pickup, but he doesn't have any verticality to get there.
Fluffy is being very, very thorough with his grotto check here, even coming all the way down to the grotto mini-boss. Nice little kill there, getting up on this ledge during the input lock of the ending cutscene of that fight, and finds an ability cell for his troubles.
This is a really thorough check from Fluffy. He wants to make sure that he doesn't miss anything, and so far it has paid off in spades.
Absolutely.
However, Grim has found 2 more energy cells on the way over here.
That's a lot of energy. Of course, that much energy is basically only useful if you have Charge Dash, which Fluffy might have pretty soon.
Not only that, but Fluffy just picked up Charge Dash efficiency.
Ooh. So,
once he does get Charge Dash, he's gonna have the efficiency, he's gonna have Bash, he's gonna have basically all the movement aside from almost instant verticality, because yes, Bash Grenade does help with that, but sometimes that's not quite what you need.
Here is the double jump tree, Fluffy. A little interested to see what Grim's doing. I don't think he can progress in the Ginso tree very far, though he can go in. I guess we're probably going to see him check this swamp loop area, go around and head down. There's a little bit of density of pickups. He's putting in the water vein. I'd be shocked to see him go in for any reason. Yeah, he's just going to head right and check these. It's a semi-dense area off to the right here. It's just sort of not on the way to any trees.
Well, there's another mapstone. Now, I know we always like to joke about, about Warmth Returns, but about how early Sunstone access like that can get you into Mount Horu. Now, Mount Horu can have required things to finish.
It certainly
Oftentimes,
can.
oftentimes our runners are much more experienced enough to circumvent that. However, it can happen.
I don't think that's going to happen in this seed in particular.
Well, the game might want them to, but you've got a point. And Grim getting another energy cell.
A lot of energy. Fluffy's heading into the same area Grim is in right now.
However,
Unfortunately, failed to skip that cutscene, so has to sit there and watch it, but
Fluffy has Charge Dash.
there it is. The fastest ability in the game. Is Fluffy just skipping things right now? He is.
Fluffy's going for...
I think he's rushing trees. I think
so too.
he's rushing trees. Fluffy feeling like he can finish the game with this set of skills and abilities. He might be a little low on health.
I don't think he's worried about that right now.
He might honestly be kind of rushing trees to, and maybe checking the really fast pickups along the way to try and get the clue for the water vein as soon as possible. We, of course, know that it's perfectly accessible to him at the moment, but he doesn't. So he might just want to find that as soon as he can and worry about what he can and can't do after he has it.
Now, if he doesn't end up getting that clue, considering he can lure the Frankie over to bash the wall, or lure the Frankie over to hit the stomp peg to get into Valley, if he still does not have access to the left-hand side, that might be good enough for him to get the water vein right there without needing the clue.
That's very true, although we are certainly seeing him skip a lot of pickups here. I hope he does not skip the one where we know the water vein is. Alright, we're seeing Grim heading back down into Grotto. This is good for him. There's a lot of pickups here that he managed to miss, or unfortunately missed, rather.
I love that rocket jump that Fluffy just did.
It's so good. It's so fast.
Grim finding yet another energy cell. This seed is wrought with a bunch of them straight off the bat.
Gotta get powered up. That blue lettuce. That makes it sound like a drug, I'm sorry.
I'm curious as to where Fluffy's gonna go from here.
This looks like a Grove Teleporter / Valley Entry check for him. So we might see Fluffy start actually go-moding soon. Alright, Grim has found Bash. He checked the pickup to the right of the normal water vein position. He has found his Bash. I would not be surprised to see him continue to check pickups in this area now that he has Bash Grenade and can get most of it. And that will lead him to find Dash soon enough.
He's going to get it very shortly. He's checking these couple of pickups that Fluffy checked prior. He's going to get Dash right here.
Fluffy is skipping everything in this area.
Oh, accidentally hits the Frankie with a grenade.
This is really interesting to me.
Ooh. Manages to get the Frankie to hit the stomp peg. Both of them are a hit away from death.
Yeah, we might have a lot of energy, but we are a little bit low on health. 4 HP is not enough to really feel safe at any point now. And Fluffy's just going for it. Well, maybe not forgot, but is foregoing every pickup in his path. Just rushing trees, trying to get that clue for the water vein as soon as he can.
To be fair, he can absolutely do this. I'm getting the feeling he might just not want to go after pickups because, aside from health, he looks pretty confident with what he's got.
He does certainly look very confident. Of course, he also knows that because he does not have the stomp ability, there is normally a kill plane in this area that does not exist without stomp. So
yes, he's going to use Wilhelm!
Nice!
So that frog is normally not there. However, once you pick up the Sunstone in any capacity, that frog will be there. So he doesn't need to have Stomp, he doesn't need to have Climb Charge Jump combo, he doesn't even need to do Fast Stompless. He just needs to use that frog.
It's always lovely to get a little help from Wilhelm.
And the clue is going to be what would have been the Sunstone clue.
Oof.
I don't expect him to change anything.
No, I think he's just gonna keep rushing trees. I think we'll see Sorrow check. Actually, yeah, we're gonna see a Sorrow check, Misty check, Grenade check probably, and then he's gonna find his clue for the location of the water vein, and eventually figure out that he kind of ran right past it.
Now the interesting point is that, technically speaking, Grim could also be in go mode here. However, he does have the water vein. So
That's true.
It's going to be interesting since Fluffy can't... Looked like he was going to... Is he taking a mortar shot?
He is. This is a little bit of a... We've seen Fluffy do this strat before in this tournament. He's taking this mortar shot, which is, on top of being a difficult jumble bash chain, is more difficult because this projectile does not like to play nice, but he's taking it all the way up to break this ceiling up here. Instead of doing the frog micro ledge strat that is notorious for being exceptionally difficult, very nicely done.
Well, here's
Fluffy
the thing,
there.
though. He's got rocket jumps and he's got bash.
Oh yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't just do the all skills entry.
There.
Now, the all skills entry, for those who don't know of how to get through that, is you take the frog and you put it on the platform below you, well, below the ceiling, and you rocket jump off the frog so that when the projectile follows you, it hits the ceiling. That was
with me too. I was explaining he doesn't have to do the micro ledge. He just could have done the easiest break we know. Oh,
there's climb.
Okay. I kind of want to know what's running through Fluffy's head right now, because he's skipped a lot of pickups, but he's being thorough with this Dorito cave right now.
Fluffy didn't get the save down.
He's key duping. It's fine.
Ah, okay.
Key dupe, of course, if you haven't seen it before, is a glitch where you can duplicate these keystones that you picked up throughout the world, so that you have more than you're supposed to have. He knows that there's a couple more keystone doors in his path to completion, regardless of what he finds. Ooh, that's a little rough. He knows that he needs to bring this frog over so he can break the floor and get to the sea jump tree. Meanwhile, on the left side of your screen, we're seeing Grim flying very quickly through the misty woods. Also in sort of a rush trees mode at this point, looking very comfortable with his skill set.
I'm curious as to what Fluffy's doing. It looks like he has enough keystones?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, he might not have. He has the 4 keystones now for Ginso.
I see what he's doing. He took a hit in the spikes and killed himself, but he just moused over his health bar, which is because he has a mega health. And he might be trying to keep that for the final escape. So because he took a hit in the spikes, he lost the mega health. But he wants to keep it, so he just died and went back to his save where he still has it. That's pretty clever.
Yeah. Because our runners both have 5 health, and since Fluffy has just been on a tear, just absolutely skipping nearly everything, he might just really not want to go for anything else.
Fluffy wants to make absolutely sure that he only checks the area that the water vein is going to be in, but of course he needs to collect the trees before he knows that area. Grim, meanwhile, is still being a little bit thorough on his way to the trees and has found Charge Flame. Not the most useful thing in the world at the moment, but it is another skill that Fluffy didn't find, and is wall breakage in the final escape.
It also does mean that Grim can check a couple of pickups that neither of our runners have been able to yet, considering that neither runner has Stomp or Charge Jump.
Yeah, there's a couple of sequence break checks you can do by sea-flaming thing through floors and walls and such.
Grim getting health regen from that lower ability cell in the swamp area, meaning
That's
that
pretty nice.
technically speaking, he's got 6 health.
Yes, and for the purposes of swimming in water, he does actually have 6 health because he only has 5, but the regen will give him enough to survive if he drops below 1.
Means that Grim has 3 trees to go. I believe this is Fluffy's third
Fluffy
to last?
will have 2 to go after this, so Fluffy is 1 ahead on terms of collecting all of the skill trees, but of course Grim already has the water vein and will be headed straight to the final escape after he's been to the trees. This is looking pretty close now.
Looks like he's gonna head to Ginso now so that he can get the bash tree. You know, Fluffy is gonna have to do the lure to get down into Light Grenade. I like this play from Grim because if he's still checking pickups every so often, he might be trying to hope that Stomp is somewhere in here, or maybe Climb and Charge Jump. We know Climb is in the, well, the friendly spikes, or the noob spikes, or Spike Cave, whatever you want to call it. So he's not going to find it here, but he could find Stomp in here, and that would mean he doesn't have to spend time on this lure.
Makes sense to me. Fluffy's having a little bit of trouble with this strat to get the frog up on top of this ledge and all the way over. It's pretty low on health, so he's going to need to be super careful now to make sure this frog does not hit any spikes on its way to the floor that Fluffy is bringing him to break. He's doing quite well now. Grim, meanwhile, fighting the Ginso Tree mini-boss on his way to the back tree.
Grim now has, though, a 1 in 4 chance of actually getting to the bash tree, because he only has 3 keystones.
Oh! And he knows it, too. He just circled him for us right now. This is the full gamble right now.
Well, at least he's got his 6 health. Or 7.
Yeah, that's nice-ish.
Technically.
Come on, Seed. Be nice to Grim. This is going to be brutal if it isn't. Oh no, and he alt-Rs because he cannot make it to the bash tree at the moment. He's going to have to go dupe or find another keystone. That is quite a bit of time loss for Grim there.
However, he is going to go to Charge Jump Tree and get his climb. But Fluffy is going to get the key clue for the water vein now.
He now knows.
He already has 4 keystones ready, waiting for him.
Sure does. Correct me if I'm wrong. That plant that we know where water vein is considered in Valley, is it not?
That is in Valley.
Which means Fluffy is going to the Valley Teleporter, which has a lot of pickups closer to it than that plant. It could take Fluffy quite a while to get over there to check it.
Now, Grim is going to do the slightly more...
Ooh.
What? I was about to say slightly more standard way of doing it, but no.
No, he's doing the micro ledge because he's also forgotten about rocket jumps.
But he gets it on the first try anyway!
That strat is so difficult. Ooh, this is interesting. We're seeing Fluffy finally give up his mega health to collect another health cell here. So he's now going to be sitting at, I believe, 6 and a health regen, or maybe 5 and a health regen. But either way, that is enough for the final escape. He did not go down to Valley Entry where we know the water vein is, and he's going to check a couple of pickups on the right side of Valley here. Grim is duping here in Sorrow.
Grim has gotten what looks to be 11 or 12 keystones at this point, so he's got enough for the bash tree once he gets down there.
Definitely enough.
Taking the frog over to the left here so that the frog can just get it for him.
Good. It seems like Fluffy is aware that the top 2 pickups in this Valley main room are not considered in Valley for the purposes of clues. They're considered in Sorrow, so he's not even bothering to go up and check them. There are some pickups down here at the bottom. There's the Valley Entry, and the Way to Forlorn are all considered in Valley of the Wind, and that is what Fluffy has to search for the Water Vein. Meanwhile, Grim is headed to the Light Grenade Tree, and then he will have to head back into Ginso to collect the Bash Tree, and we'll be done. It is now a race between... Actually, it's just straight up a race between how fast Grim can get to the Grenade Tree with his Fruncular and how long it takes Fluffy to find the Water Vein.
I don't think it's going to take Fluffy very long, considering that there's only so many areas Fluffy can go right now.
There he goes. He's headed towards it.
Yep. But Grim's got the Frog. He headed straight towards the floor.
There's a couple of spikes in his way still. There's one more spike now in his way that the Froggy could kill himself on.
Oh no! Fluffy's not going for the plant! Fluffy is going to double bash this frog over to break...
Oh no, Fluffy! Fluffy, no!
So, Grim is heading down to the Grenade Tree as Fluffy is This is not a trick I've seen in a while. Fluffy is taking this frog over to the way down to Forlorn to break the floor.
Fluffy, no, there's pickups in Valley Entry you never got. They're so much easier than this.
And Sigma is...
Oh, it went through the floor!
Through the floor!
No! Video game, please! Why are you like this?
Now, Fluffy can take this shot basically as far as he wants, so long as it is a horizontal movement. Which he's doing. No, it finished him again!
Oh my god!
Video game, please.
I have to say it now. Grim is now definitively in the lead. He is headed towards the Bash Tree, which Fluffy still hasn't gotten because he doesn't have the Water Vein.
Again!
Just bring the frog closer, Fluffy. You don't have to do this. Oh my goodness.
It is phased through a fourth time.
Oh no, and Fluffy killed himself. Oh, but the frog's still here? Okay, that's fun.
Wait,
There we go.
Wait, hold on a sec. Those spikes don't hurt the frog?
Those spikes don't. The ones on the right of them do. Because this video game makes sense sometimes. Grim is headed back through the Ginso tree. He's already been through this area once, but did not have enough keystones to get to the Bash tree, so he's got to go back through and actually collect the tree before he's allowed to progress to the final escape. But he is definitely in the lead now, because once he collects this, he will be headed to the final escape. Meanwhile, Fluffy still has yet to find the Water Vein, and then has to go collect the Bash tree himself. And Fluffy is just getting further and further away from where we already know the Water Vein is. This is looking like Grim's game now, Kugel.
It is looking like Grim's game. I gotta say though, Fluffy has shown a bunch of tricks that we don't normally see and has done super well with them. Like that frog lure / bash chain is difficult. Fortunately, it's not gonna pay off for him.
Definite props for him to even thinking of and then executing the trick. But it is not what he needed.
Looks like he's gonna check some of these pickups in Blades to see if he can find... Maybe he thinks it's the Bird Ball cell? Because he can't currently get to it.
That's possible. He might think it is a pickup on the right side of Valley that you need Stomp or Climb and Charge Jump to collect.
Or, considering we know he can do the frog double bash chain / lures really well, I could see him going for the expert trick of taking one of those green frogs over and breaking the wall next to the ability cell.
You know, I just thought of something, and I really hope this isn't the case, but it might be that Fluffy thinks that for the purposes of clues, those pickups in Valley Entry are in Grove, when they are not. They are in Valley of the Wind. But he might not even be thinking that it is possible for the Water Vein to be there. And that would just be the most unfortunate thing. Is he trying to take this frog all the way to the bird boss cell? Okay, he's not gonna try and do that anymore. Or maybe he is, but with a green frog. Okay.
This is some incredible tech that we don't normally see runners doing. The fact that Fluffy not only is trying this but feels comfortable to do this in the middle of a race is incredible.
But Grim is starting the final escape now. It does not look like a particularly difficult final escape to me either. He should be very comfortable with this as an experienced render runner. I'm almost kind of rooting for Fluffy now. I want to see if this is even possible. Oh no.
He's looking at his teleporter map.
I think he just went to swamp. I don't know if he intended to. Grim is past all of the final escape gates now, is at the last room of the escape. Just gotta bash some rocks and he is done. Just has to hold right now until his timer finishes, and that is going to be the win for Grimelios here.
I've got the feeling, since Fluffy kept climb, I've got the feeling that he's looking for either charge jump or stomp.
I also think the same.
What would be really awful is if one of them was hidden behind that. And then
Oh no.
and then the other one was in a place that people wouldn't normally go.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Fluffy's doing. I think he's searching the map for stomp or charge jump. He found charge flame. It's not close enough. Check a map. Not so much.
Grim's gonna be holding right here. Really, really good job on his part of finding the skills that he found later than Fluffy, but still taking those skills and just clearing the map. Going fast, getting what he needed, and finishing with a time of 45 minutes and 4 seconds.
Definitely respectable. A good time for what I would expect out of a seed with this progression that we saw. Yeah, it was really just, it was that water vein pickup. He didn't find Bash or Dash that led him to check the location at which the water vein was, and then when he did find Bash or Dash, he was just ready to go.
Fluffy is being super efficient with his map clearing.
Not the most unfortunate death ever. He's pretty close by. And Dash, of course, means he can get to where he wanted to go very quickly.
I think he just isn't quite sure. I think you may be right. I think he might not realize that has to be Valley entry and not in Grove.
I'm just... He might sort of be tunnel visioning now and thinking that it must be behind one of the charge jump / stomp gated pickups. Actually, really just charge jump, because I don't think you can get the fact cell at the bottom of Valley with stomp. I think he might just be focusing in on thinking that it's one of those and not reconsidering that it could be in Valley entry.
Yeah, that might be the case. We'll have to ask him when this is over.
he's just being efficient, searching around.
He's going
Oh,
back to
there's the
Grove.
teleport to Grove. Here we go. Does he head left? Does he remember that he never picked these up?
He's heading
sure
left.
Does. He sure does. There we go. Unsure if this is him remembering that these are in Valley or if this is still just him looking for charge jump. But regardless, he should find the water vein right now at this plant. There it is. He knows and is headed to the Ginso tree to finish up his run at this seed.
He did open up. Oof. He opened up the map right when he was entering that area, so he did realize that he was in fact, Valley.
Well, he of course knows since now the clue set Valley, and that's where it was. That's for sure. Even if he didn't see the map.
So he's gonna make his way into the Ginso tree.
Fluffy is a skilled runner, an experienced runner. I would expect him to demolish this dungeon on his way to the Bash Tree. Maybe accidentally leave once, but that's fine. We've all done that.
And now at this point, because of his checks, has 7 health. So, doesn't have to worry at all about the swim at the end of escape.
Or really anything at this point.
That's fair.
I didn't see if he managed to level up Ultra Defense.
I don't believe he did.
Alright.
I believe
He'd
he's
gotten
still
that
a point away.
Okay. If he'd gotten that far, then he definitely wouldn't ever need to worry about dying ever again. But except to lava, maybe, because that's insta-kill. But regardless. Oof. Bash makes this puzzle room a lot faster, but you still gotta be a little precise there. I love the fastest Ginso mini-boss kills. They're so good.
They are pretty nice. At this point, he's also just going to skip all of the keystones. He has enough. He's going to get the Bash Tree, and I would not be surprised if he books it towards Horo.
And he's got nothing else left to do. So here is an altar. Here is a mad dash to the Glades teleport. And a teleport to Swamp.
And he also has charge dash efficiency, so each of those energy cells is going to be worth 2 charge dashes. That's a lot of going fast.
On Zoom. There we go, just like that. He's already down to 1 energy. And we're out. There's a little tiny refill here. Oh, be careful.
Wait, what?
That's unfortunate. What is... Fluffy? What are you doing? We're just saying hi to Forlorn and then we're leaving. Saying hi to Grotto and then we're leaving. What are you doing, Fluffy?
I'm just surprised that that elemental can do that. I didn't realize it could start the laser above you.
Oh yeah, if you're too fast in that area, then it will start the laser above you.
That's...
Kind of have to, if you're going with the absolute fastest strats in this area, you kind of have to stutter step a little bit just to make sure it doesn't. We're just gonna let the laser hit him this time.
That's kind of terrifying.
Face damage.
That's actually extremely terrifying.
Oh no!
Come on, Fluffy, you got this.
Take energy, Fluffy. Finish strong for us. No, you can't do that. Well, you're
Taking a
just
couple
taking a
seconds
moment.
to calm himself down, or just curse the elemental, or whatever he needs to do to get stuff done. It gets an energy refilled for the sake of getting that plant, so that's pretty nice.
An energy cell. Yeah, just taking a moment, collect his thoughts. That elemental's being so mean. A little unsure what happened right now. Oh no. I think we just witnessed a rage alt F4. Or a game crash, one or the other. Could have been a game crash. I've crashed in that spot before.
Well, regardless of what it was, Fluffy has booted the game back up and is still going for the finish of the seed.
Elemental was nice this time.
He's still going for it. Fluffy has totally got this. This seed has been such a experience for him, and he's still gonna finish it. He's going for this. Take energy, Fluffy. You've got this.
Please, Door Warp. I believe in you. He's gonna save drop.
So, Shed, why don't you actually explain this one? Because I don't think we've seen this in the tournament yet.
I think we've seen it once before from Fluffy, actually, but this is, before we knew about the door warp that skips the entire dungeon, this was the previous strat, where you can save just above the lava and it drops you onto the floor beneath it, where there is a mini-boss fight. Fluffy opting to do that instead of maybe struggle with door warp for a little bit, and he has finally made it to the final escape.
And he also has all of these skills needed to get through here. He's got some bash grenades going on. He's got 7 health, so that water is not going to be any trouble for him.
Lava might be.
Only if he hits it, and he's doing a great job avoiding it so far.
Opt to charge flame or charge dash these walls.
That was super close. Dashes. Manages to not hit the fire at the bottom of the screen, so we still got all of the health ready for this swim.
And
really well done.
The fishes aren't even problems. Doing some fish strats. Finishing strong. Some fancy fish strats. Oh no! Unfortunately, takes a hit from that fire at the end and has to do this all again.
Heading back through. If anything else hasn't phased him in this race, I don't think this will.
Oh dear, I don't think with that hit he has enough health for the swim now. He might know about the safe spot on the right here where you can wait for health regen. He maybe doesn't, or is opting to go for it. That's close. This is the one, Fluffy. Let's do it.
Use his charge flame to get through that part of the floor. Gonna wait for this lava pillar to go down. Use his charge dash to get through the first part.
There we go. That's so close.
Gonna grab the shot from the elemental. Still has all of his health, so he can get through the swim now. bash off the first fish. Gonna double bash off the second one.
Oh no! He got hit by the fish there. Maybe feeling a little bit frustrated, or a lot frustrated at this point. It's been kind of a rough seed ending for Fluffy. Just a little bit.
He's still going for it, though. He knows he can do it. We know he can do it. Getting super close there, but does get the shot.
That was so close. That was the closest yet.
Waiting for the fish to be in a better position by going a little late on that. Looks like he's just gonna let the crow spawn.
We're done with fish strats for now.
Or not.
Let's just finish this. Yeah, you can just use just glide there to skip the Kuro trigger.
That's pretty neat.
There we go.
Pretty
final cutscene in the way for Fluffy now. Just has to hold right, but he has finally done GG to Fluffy.
That was a heck of an ending to a seed, and he did a fantastic job with it.
All right, now that Fluffy has finished, we are going to have a little talk with the winner of this race, Grimelios. Hello there, Grim. Congrats on your win.
Thank you.
So what were your thoughts when you found both dungeon keys pretty on the seed? Like, how much did you want to go into just not picking anything else up?
When I found both keys, I wanted to skip everything as soon as I possibly could. Obviously, I wasn't quite there yet, but it's like in clues, most of the time you want to rush trees, right, to get clues, but if I already have the keys, then the only thing I need to do is get enough skills to beat the game. That's it, which means that suddenly it felt a lot closer to shards, where I just wanted to kind of beeline dense areas and hope for the best.
Definitely makes sense to me. So, we kind of saw the point, obviously, when you did go into that go mode, when you thought you had enough skills. Were you still maybe a little bit nervous with the skill set you had, or were you confident that you could do it?
To be honest, it was more about health, because we didn't have clean water, and at that point I only had like 4 health, or maybe 5, which means that one way or another I was either going to need ultra defense or 6 health to beat the final escape. So I still wanted more skills, like I ended up doing that micro ledge in Sorrow again, which I don't know how it worked first try again. That's a fluke. But I wanted more skills, but it was actually mainly about the final escape.
Speaking of that micro ledge in Sorrow, what made you go for that and not the rocket jump that All Skills does?
I forgot.
Turns out that both of you forgot that you could do that at that point, and Fluffy double bashed a mortar shot all the way up.
You know what it is? You know what it is? I haven't had dash in 100 years. Like, no seeds ever have dash anymore. So
you just get so used to those strats that
Jesus
it's
Christ,
just the
dude,
default
wow.
now.
Yeah, you certainly can rocket jump. Okay.
So now that you've taken this race, which I know you might have been a little bit nervous for, Fluffy is a formidable opponent. How are you feeling heading into round 3 at 2-0? Or no, sorry, you're 1-1. My bad.
Yeah. Terra wrecked me. I'm feeling good. It's always just like, I mean, as this Swiss round goes on, ideally you start facing opponents that are closer and closer to your skill level. Not that Fluffy and Terra aren't, but like I don't think I can bank on getting an easier opponent. So I just have to kind of try to stay at the top of my game and not forget things like rocket jumps exist. That's kind of been like 2 seeds in a row where I forget about, like last seed I forgot the Terra break existed. And so I just have to try my best to remember all those tiny little details. But I'm feeling okay about it.
You got to win 2 more matches now to get up into the bracket.
We'll try. I was, can I just say, I was so scared. Like, I didn't have the SRO window open, but even if I had, I was like, Fluffy probably got dash before me, and I'm like, oh, he probably found double jump or left side teleport. I was so scared.
He did. To tell a little bit of the story, what ended up being was that Fluffy did not find the water vein, where you found it very early and ended up having to search for it, and it took him a very long time. But that's just how it goes sometimes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I just found it randomly.
Yeah, that's
So
always nice.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right, well, I won't hold you any longer. We still have more randomizer coming up today. What do we got next, Poogle?
We have got a race at 6 p.m. Eastern, so in about a little less than half an hour, and it's going to be Covert Muffin versus Ozzy889.
That sounds fun. I always love watching Muffin race.
Gonna look up for a pretty good matchup. So it's gonna be right here on Speed Gaming 2. Everyone stick around, it's gonna be a heck of a match. You got any last words, Shed?
No, I'm good. Just don't miss that race. And I'll see you all later.